The rescue in Alberta, from what I heard, they were saying that there wasn't a whole lot, there wasn't a whole lot of interest for his age over there. A lot of people wanted kind of already started horses and whatnot. So he ended up being moved to a rescue here in British Columbia. They're located in Salmon Arm. So Horse Heroes Alberta is the rescue that saved him from the auction. Freedom's Gate Rescue is the one in Salmon Arm, BC. They are the ones who ended up taking Rudnik. And so that is where I happened to find him. What are you doing? Oh, I think he's mad I'm sitting on his bucket. It was at Freedom's Gate. So I hadn't even gone there looking for a horse for myself. I had actually gone with a couple of people that I worked with. They were looking at getting a horse. He is like trying to get me off of this bucket. They were hoping to adopt a horse, so I went with them to kind of just check them out because they were first-time horse owners. They didn't know what to look for and stuff like that. So we went and I checked out the horses with them. And so I ended up seeing this little Scrappy, and at this time Rudnik was about 10 months old. So it hadn't been long. He was still quite mistrusting of people, very leery. I couldn't get anywhere near him. The rescue had started to do some work with him, but he was still very much untouchable for the most part. He's like, I'm done with this. There's no food in here. And so I just saw this little black colt who he had all these burrs in his manes. He looked scrappy. Like he looked like he needed some TLC. And so I saw, it was his coat. I saw his coat. He had some white poking out. And as soon as I found out he was a blue roan, which had, of course, always like my dream color for a horse. Not that you ever buy a horse based off their color, but it was his eyes. There was something in his eyes that reminded me of the Heart horse I had growing up, Mina. It was just something in his eyes, knowing that he had been through so much at such a young age, and he still had this softness in his eyes. He didn't have this fear in them. You could tell he was scared of people and he didn't trust them, but you could also see that there was a side to him that really wanted to be able to. So we left that day, and I contacted the rescue just because the people I had gone with to look at a horse had told me if I ever ended up finding a horse, I could keep the horse there at their property in exchange for helping them train the horses they got. And so that was really my only obstacle for why I hadn't gotten a horse, that, and obviously they're expensive. But when I was told that, I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna contact the rescue about this little colt. Tivio was his name at the time, because his paper name's Cash Tivio Gold. So I messaged the rescue and I asked them, hey, is Tivio still available? And she told me, we actually have a couple applications in on him right now. Throw in your adoption application with some references and we'll be in touch, you know, if we go forward. And so I threw my application in, really not thinking anything of it, because like if there's already applications in, I don't stand a chance. And so I ended up getting a call, it was probably within 48 hours, saying that my application had been approved. But I think I spent the next day after that crying. And it was like a week later, Rudnik came home.